Well, I am going to try to do a screencast since I haven't done this in forever. And I don't know if I've ever done it by myself or not, but I wanted to create a video showing sales for May, and I've got some pretty neat ones to show you. So I am going to just take a shot at this and see if I can figure it out. I was going to schedule this for later, but it didn't want to cooperate with me for that. So here is my store, if I can find it. Let's see. There we go. Was that it? Is it showing it? I don't know. It's supposed to be sharing my screen. Let's see if we can figure out which screen it's supposed to be sharing. It's not showing the right one. Well, this is a learning experience. It's still not showing the right one. Huh. I have no idea where this is at. First, it wouldn't share my... Well, there's a screen. First, it wouldn't show my video. Well, we'll just do it like this then. I'm hoping it's showing on there. Maybe I can move this up here. Okay, good. It is showing my screen. Let's go full screen with it. All right. This is my store, Your Deal Auctions on eBay. And the first item I have to show you from last month is a vintage 90s Bush T-shirt sold for $44. This came out of a storage unit that I cleaned out years and years ago. I've been cleaning up, going through totes in the basement and in the office. And this is one of the ones I found. Always good to find those. This was a retail arbitrage item. I bought these for $5 each, and I got a whole stack of them. And let's see, this shows two available, two sold. So $29.99. I'm using the percentage thing, where if you have more than one item, you can offer them a discount if they buy more than one. So that's why it says up here, buy one, buy two. And then if there was more than two, it would show buy three. Let's see what's next. Next is the 1980 Atwood Stadium 1980 T-shirt. This was a pretty cool T-shirt. It was lightweight, and I put it up for auction at $50. And I got one bid, sold for $50. That was another one that I had nothing in. Next is another T-shirt that I had nothing in. These all came out of storage unit that I cleaned out years ago. Let's see, this one, 1986 Sheila E vintage T-shirt. That one got 5 bids and sold for $90. Let's see, I got people in the chat now. Hi, Marie and Dana. Yeah, volume pricing, that's what it is. I couldn't think of the word for it. This didn't sell for a whole lot, but I don't even know where these came from. These have been laying around the office forever. And so they sold for $18 plus shipping. Or as Lonnie would say, with shipping on top. Here's another vintage T-shirt. And you see I really go through a lot of trouble cleaning these T-shirts up. I mean, I wash them, and I use this shout to try to remove any stains before I wash them. This one was front and back. Born in the USA Tour 84-85. Sleeveless. They weren't tore off. It just never had sleeves. And that had 5 bids, sold for what was it, $36. This was a pretty cool one. Rolling Stone T-shirt. And as you see, like, once again, wrinkles. I don't iron them or nothing. Don't really have to when they're this kind of thing. This one, the tag was a little chewed up on it, so I had to put tape behind it to make it flat to take a picture. There were stains on it, Always show the stains. I did get that stain out a little bit better than that though before it sold. And North American Tour 1989. That one went for $134 with 22 bids. So I was pretty happy. Now on my when I auction something, I take best offer off, because if I'm auctioning it, the starting price is what I want for it. So if it sells for the starting price, then, you know, I'm happy with the profit. If it goes for more than that, then I'm good too. Like this Robin Trower T-shirt here. He's a awesome guitarist if you don't know who he is. And I think he might, I'm not sure if he's still around or not. I think he's still around. If he is, he's pretty old by now. This was 88 tour shirt, printed front and back, extra large. And I mean, it wasn't even a special brand or anything. And found that one buyer out there that was interested in it. Sold for $50. Hi, Jennifer. Thanks for stopping in, everybody. Maybe one of these days I'll figure out how to do this so I can schedule it so people know when it's coming out. If you guys haven't seen the video I posted a little earlier today, it shows the storm damage from the storm we had the other day. I was sitting here in the garage working, and it just hit suddenly. And I ran into the house, and it was just pounding. And afterwards we went outside and looked around, and that was a video I shot as soon as we walked outside. So stuff was just blown everywhere. There's a whole bunch of stuff blown in front of the garage, and my patio table was blown over, and a big maple tree next to the house is blown into the house. So hopefully the insurance company will get with me pretty soon so I can get that taken care of. Here's an Alice Cooper T-shirt. It's from 1980, front and back. I always like it when they're printed on the back too. They usually sell for more money. This one went for $80 with 5 bids, and it was just a Hanes that it was printed on. So if you find some of these, they're not always printed on like Screen Stars or some, you know, fancy brand. A lot of times they just printed them on whatever they had. Next one is Iggy Pop T-shirt. This one went for $95, and there was quite a few people watching this one. I was kind of surprised it didn't go higher, but I mean, it is what it is. This was a Lee cotton T-shirt. And you know, usually you can find the date down by the corner of the graphic. Not always, but you know, sometimes. And it's nice to be able to date the T-shirt so you know when it came from. So once again, auction, no best offers on it. Every once in a while I forget and I'll put a best offer on it. Somebody will send me a best offer. I'll show you one later that I put up, and somebody sent me a best offer on it, and I told them I don't want best offers and just a bid on it. And you'll see what that went for. Another one of these mower blades. I didn't know I had it on there. 2 of them on there. This was a game that laid around for probably over a year. I think I had it up on the top shelf, and it was brand new in the box. And I think I started at $50, and over time I lowered the price, and finally it sold. So the buyer paid shipping on it. This is one of those role-playing games. You always want to look for those kind of games. They're not all worth money, but some of them are. And if you find the right buyer, they'll buy it. Here's a Lilith Fair T-shirt. This was a concert where there was a whole bunch of different female artists. Here's a list of them on the back here. And it was all female artists that put on the concert. So that was kind of neat. Tag was hard to read. I had to take measurements, I think, to get the size on this one. And it sold for $40. Usually on T-shirts and anything under £1, I offer free shipping on. And there's a Queers T-shirts, punk rock band, vintage. I think that one's from the 80s, late 80s, 90s, somewhere around early 90s, maybe late 80s. I don't know. Sold for $30, 1 bid. Then NSYNC. Now I have a feeling that this would have been sold better if I would have sold it before now, like back when I found it, but it was stored for quite a while. This one was from 2000, Winterland, and it is printed front and back, 2000 tour. So that one sold for $34 free shipping. This was neat to find. I found this at a garage sale. I think it was last summer. And the lady had 2 Bibles, and I bought them both. I asked how much she wanted for them, and she said 50 cents. So I was like, great. This Bible is in Spanish and English. So that's kind of cool. It's like one side Spanish, one side's English. Hadn't seen one like that before, but somebody was interested. It sold for $34. It was I think it was brand new, but I sold it in like new condition. I always try to under describe things so people get something better than not under describe. Anyways, I don't say it's worth, how great it is or anything. I'll just say it like I sell a book. When I'm selling books, I usually put that they're acceptable. That way, if they get it and it's really nice, then they're happier than they would be. Here's Fleetwood Mac. This is a pretty cool T-shirt. Sold for $24. I don't know if I should have put that one up for auction or not. It was a New Year's Eve party, though. It wasn't like a regular concert. That's the back of it, and that's the front. On the front, it just said Las Vegas Hilton. So I'm guessing they probably did a show there. Next is Undead, another punk rock. You can put, I didn't put punk in there, but you could put punk, grunge, anything like that in the title. If you put the band name in, though, people are going to find it because they're looking for that. It's not I don't know if they're a real well-known group or not, but somebody was interested in it. It sold for $44, free shipping. And again, all these T-shirts came out of storage unit. It was a vintage clothing store that had closed years ago. And they put everything in these storage units. And I think they were like, what were they, 15 by 30s or 10 by 20s, something like that. And they don't sell the clothes, so they give them to me. There was a lot of costume jewelry and boxes in there too, just like banana boxes full of stuff. I've still got tons of jeans that came out of them. And this is a Dark Side of the Moon T-shirt, Pink Floyd. It's pretty neat. I almost kept that one for myself because it was extra large, but I think I already have one somewhere. Let's see what's next. Boxcar Racer. When I first looked at this, it took me a minute to figure out what it said on it. And so then I looked at the bottom of the logo there, and I could see what it said. But I hadn't seen that one before. So that was from 2002. That one sold for $44 with free shipping. Next, this is a cute little baby. Is a foot, 12 inches long, foot long, and is marked and everything. I found this at a little thrift store that I like to go to every once in a while. I find good stuff there. The lady that got this, though, is actually returned, or she opened a return, but she never returned it. But she said that it was smaller than described and that it didn't feel like a real baby. And she said it didn't feel like a real baby like the description said. Okay, here's my description. It's the same thing as the title. There's nowhere I say that this is feels like a real baby doll or anything. And for it being smaller than she expected, 12 inches is right in the title. So I guess size matters on that one. Eternal Champions. This is another one of those Sega games. Oh, that doll, I think I paid like $2 for it. Sega Genesis Eternal Champions. These games I got, this was in another game from that Sega lot that I've had on other videos. These games look just perfect condition. The only thing wrong with these games was up here at the top, there should be a hang tag, and they were cut off all the boxes for some reason. But all these had belonged to a collector, and I bought the whole box at auction for $50. And I think there was 2 consoles, Sega consoles in there, 2 different kinds. And I haven't even messed with those yet. I've just been selling games, and I've made my money back. This is another cool Rolling Stone T-shirt. I like this one. It's Voodoo Lounge. And this was 94, 95 tour. This was a T-shirt company I hadn't really heard of before, Brockham. But somebody liked it, sold for $50, free shipping. And I even priced that one higher. I think I priced that one about $20 higher than other ones I'd seen sold. I don't go by whatever I see the sold price for. I always aim higher. I can always come down, but you can't go up. And this I took a $30 best offer on because I'd had it for quite a while. I thought it was cute. I think I picked it up at a church rummage sale about a year or so ago. Oh, it was over a year ago anyway. And I knew somebody would want it because I'd seen other ones sell. There was another character from this Doug and Debbie Henning show that sells for more. But I thought that was pretty good, getting $30 for it. This came out of that computer big box lot that I had bought. I think that was about 5 or 6 months ago. But these big box games, if you get a computer game and it's in a box, always put big box. I didn't do it, of course. Don't do what I say, not what I do. Evidently I forgot to put big box on this one. But I see why. It's not a big box. It's not in a box. It's just that's the strategy guide. I was thinking that was the box. Okay, so that I didn't put big box on that for a reason. So I put the strategy guide with the game's just in a case. And that one sold for $24 with free shipping. Now, these computer games don't ship media mail. You have to ship those first class. So I made a mistake on some of these and put on their media mail, but since it was free shipping, it didn't matter anyway. It was still under £1. This was another one from, this one wasn't from that Sega lot. This was one from a lot I had from years and years ago. And when I started to clean out my office, I ran across it. I was just laying on the floor back here. And I was like, oh, look, Sega games. So I looked it up. Now, when I had looked these up before, a few years back when I got this lot, this one wasn't selling for more than like $30. So when I looked it up now, I was like, oh, I'm glad that I didn't get that one listed before, because I think it fell behind a shelf is the reason it was on the floor by the office door, because there's a shelf on the other side there that has stuff on it. So this game was complete with the inserts, everything that came with it originally. The discs didn't even look like they'd been used. So that was a really nice one, and it sold for $94 with free shipping. This is really cool. This is a brand to watch for if you want to call it a bolo. The Tripp, T-R-I-P-P. It's New York City, and this was really a neat jacket. I've seen bondage in the title for this brand before too. It's got zippers all over it. It's got buckles, and it's got some kind of clip at the top by the neck. The side zips all the way down. Let's see if I got a picture of it. I don't know if I put a picture of it in. There we go. Yeah, this side zips open, and it's got material behind it too, and more snaps. But yeah, this is pretty cool. And so it sold for, I'm thinking I took a best offer of 50 on it. Maybe it did sell for 90, but I think I took a best offer of 50 on it. Now I have a pair of Tripp jeans right now that are all buckles and belts and stuff on it. And it's got the pair of pants have a couple rivets missing, but they don't like do anything. They're just decoration. And it's up to auction on my store right now. And it's at, got a $50 bid on it already. So that's kind of cool. I'm guessing those pants might go higher. Here's a lot of games I picked up somewhere. Oh, I got these at a church rummage sale. These little pens, if you see these things, pick those up. Even if there's no books or anything with them. I've sold these pens for $30, $40 just by themselves. They just happen to have a whole bunch of books there. And I think this whole lot was like $2. Sold for $40 free shipping. And I think I shipped at media mail since they were books. Oh no, I didn't ship at media mail because there was that pen with it. No, I didn't. Here we go, Neil Young. And this one kind of surprised me because I'd seen others go for $50, $60. So I thought that, this one was probably going to go in the $60, $70 price range, but there was somebody that wanted it, and they had somebody else that wanted it. Tags all faded out. There was a hole in the back. You can see the hole right there. So this was a Neil Young sold out concert, evidently. And 1983 was the year this was from. This was only a medium too. It wasn't even a large or an extra large. And it went for $178.50 with free shipping on it. 29 bids on that one. It kept, right at the end of the auction, it just kept bouncing up. Here's a Apple computer. This one I was lucky to make a profit on. Is an Imac. I got it, and it was password protected, so I had to, let's say I disabled the password. And then it wasn't, though, this was in a box, what do you call it, iMac box or whatever. I don't think I put a picture of the box in here. I didn't want to, it's a 2.4 gigahertz. I didn't want to confuse whoever was looking to buy this by having the box in the picture, and I bought a brand new Bluetooth keyboard for, I don't know, it was like $5 or $6 for it. And then I had a Logitech wireless mouse I put in with it. But the iMac, what it said on the outside of the box was not the same iMac that was in the box. So evidently the people had bought a newer iMac and put their old one in the box and sent it to auction. So when I paid $100 for it at auction, thinking I was getting an iMac that was worth about $400 or $500. Well, I finally got around to listing it because it was super heavy. I don't know if you guys, whoever of you guys own these iMacs, you know how heavy they are. So I listed it for $224 and with shipping, and somebody bought it. So I was happy about it. It worked really well. I mean, there was nothing wrong with it. And I got good positive feedback on it. So that was a good deal. Here's a Dead Kennedys T-shirt. And once again, a medium size. I don't usually see medium sizes going for a ton of money because people usually want large or extra large. But Dead Kennedys T-shirt, this is a punk rock band. They've been around forever. And I think this was... did I put in here what brand it was? Because I finally figured out it's a single stitch also. And if it's single stitch, make sure you put that in your description somewhere. Oh, this was the one. I don't think these T-shirts even had tags because there's no, I couldn't find any online with tags. That's what it was. None of the ones I seen that is sold or were listed or that people had pictures of in Poshmark or what's the other one? The other photo place. Nobody had any pictures of tags in them, so I'm thinking they didn't have them. But yeah, it was nice to find that one. That was another one out of that storage unit too. I don't know, one of the storage units over there. But I didn't even have to pay for storage units. I just my part of the pay, I guess, was helping clean it out because they just gave me all the clothes. There was trailer loads of clothes that I had to go through. I donated most of them, burned a bunch of them because they were just nasty. And there was even some Bruce Springsteen T-shirts that I found, and they were all tore up and stuff. And I threw them away. I threw them in my trash can, and then I was like, somebody might want those. So I pulled them back out of the trash can, put them all together, and listed them. And somebody in China paid like $80 or something for them. I was surprised. Or no, Japan. That's where it went. This one I was really happy with, and this was what I was talking about that I was going to tell you about from before. This is a Echo and the Bunnymen 1984 Screen Stars single stitch T-shirt. I couldn't find any holes in it, but it did have light staining, and you can see some of it. There was a little bit of stains on the collar. There was like light staining on all down the front of it. I did get some of the staining out. There's the tag. It's a large. Now this sold once for, I think, $250 to somebody in Korea, and then they wanted me to alter the price they paid on the import thing so that they wouldn't have to pay as much import. And I won't do that. That's illegal. It's against a lot of order of the the information, your price they paid or whatever. So I wouldn't do that. And then he comes back and asks me for the size, what size it is. Okay. So obviously he didn't even look, because right here in item specifics, you know, are the measurements. And of course I have the size up there, but a large from the 80s might not be a large from 2000. So anyways, 18, I relisted it. And even after I canceled the sale the first time, I sent out offers down to, I think, $150, and they didn't take the best offer. So I was like, fine. So I relisted it, and it sold for $230.50 with free shipping. So that was a pretty good relist. Hi, Victoria. I just looked up at the chat. I forget that there's a chat when I'm on Screencast or StreamYard, whatever this is called. Okay, I got one more to show you. This was a rock band, and it was an open box item. I bought this at a place in New Haven, which is a town not too far from here. And I seen some of these selling for like up to $500, but I'm like, okay, this is an open box item. I mean, the ones where I seen selling were new, but I'm like, okay, this is an open box item, and you know, I'm going to make a good profit at $398 plus shipping, and I didn't want to really gouge somebody for an extra $100 or $200 on it, so I just went ahead and listed it for $398, and it sold pretty quick. I mean, it was only a couple of days, I think it was listed, and it sold. So that was pretty cool. And that is all that I have to show you today. I want to thank everybody for stopping in and sitting through this with me. It's been almost a half hour. Well, it didn't seem like it was that long. Now I see how Harry can stay on for like an hour or 2 hours. My voice is getting hoarse. Well, if you haven't checked out my storm video where this shows the tree laying on my house, still laying on my house, check that out. It's the one I posted before this video. And when I have something new to post, I will make another video. But thanks for watching. You guys have a good evening and stay safe.